Alrighty, hello everyone. It's been a hot minute. The title might be a little jarring, but yeah, world's first double S. Um, I'll get to ranked and all that shit in a bit. But yeah, let me just go ahead and go straight through it. There's gonna be one tank. I'm not editing it. I don't care. There'll be timestamps about everything I talk about, or at least the sections, you know. But yeah, let's just start with, did the meta change after the patch? That's just the title. The current, what's the current RPS? Rock, paper, scissors. It's, basically three categories. There is, rat, which is, split into two. Traditional ratting's dead. Like, I don't know why you would do it when this quad exists. It's ridiculous. And then they're just vertical kiting backwards. Right. That's the ratting playstyle right there. Then there's Zimmerman Rush, which that devolves into, or just CQC like that, which is just like Zimmerman's shield, because I think you need a shield plus a missile. Some might do double stagger punish, but if you want better matchup spread, you'd go like shield plus missile to some degree. And then you have the Vento lightweights or whatever. Basically a lightweight with just the stupid little pistols that stagger you, then you use like a blade to like do max damage. Or hammer or whatever. With like a missile or something. Right, that's your CQC options. And then there's the fuck tank. Basically what this thing is, it's just a laser tank with coral shield. It just negates CQC. You have to rat it to beat it. It's very impressive. I guess this the tank option, like its own category, but the main portion of this tank section is the anti-CQC fuck tank, which is how I got double S. Or dueling, that's how I got S, not teams. And that tank is split into two. There's just the fuck tank that just destroys CQC and gets destroyed by a rat like this. Or you throw that onto a hoverboat, make it lighter, and then it actually competes with this, and it can actually beat it. When I say beat it, it just depends on the player. Because, like, let's say I play against C-Knight, I probably wouldn't win. Or maybe. I haven't played him with it yet. I don't know. Like, this version of this quad. Because if you don't have a shield, I body you. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. And then there's other tanks. The other tanks would destroy the fuck tank. Or, like, the hoverboat version of it. I don't know how well it would do against, like, the coral shield. 2000 stab. I'll talk about that later. But that's the current RPS. But yeah, ratting was changed in a very bad way. This quad right here, just... it's the only option you should use for, like, ratting. Like, look at this. Like, it's so oppressive. Let me load. I'm gonna load in here real quick. Look at this, 390? And I could just hover around, be annoying. Oh, someone's here. And look at this, I could just move around and hammer at 390? People have to catch you. Like, you could be like, let's say, up here, right? And someone has to get up to your level and keep up with you. It's so obnoxious to deal with. And then if you get kicked, then or if you even do get kicked, I mean, it sucks, but you have a shield. And then once you see someone's like low on like high and stagger, go for this. You take half their life. Like, this thing's oppressive. Like, this is way worse than the old rat knife. It's probably more obnoxious than like traditional ratting, in my opinion. Right. Yeah, I've already talked about kiting backwards. Oh yeah. Kiting got better because Bursal got nerfed, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? But it just makes kiting way more annoying to deal with. Just another way to go backwards, which is the only way lightweights are viable. Like, in some degree. And Zims are still brain dead. Like, they didn't fix kicking. You can still kick loop someone to death. It's... don't listen to people. You can still, like, kick loop Zim, LCS, and... do it again, you know? It's nothing crazy. It's still in the game. So, what is the fuck tank? Let me show you. Where is it? I'm a little stupid. Give me a second. Oh, there it is. Alright. This is the fuck tank. 2800 stability with Coral Shield. And I think tanks have a bug right now where if they get staggered, they get out of it earlier. Which is very important. So, what this thing does, it just negates Zims and CQC as a category. Like, this is how I got, like, S so quickly. I couldn't grind, I didn't grind duels as much as I should have because I did teams as well, which is why I'm double S. But, and I also took breaks. But I didn't lose a single Zim match on this thing. I didn't lose a single one. I beat 432. I beat a bunch of other Japanese players. I beat Rissa. Like, this isn't calling them out or anything, but there's just one in the garage. Like, this shouldn't exist. Like, this shouldn't, like, destroy a whole category. And if you think I'm lying, money match me, you know? I'd love to play your Zim with this. But no, this just flat out loses to, like, the new quad. It's sort of, you could sort of play against backwards kiting, because, like, the LRA has, like, a 900 velocity when charging. So you can tag people with it. And then how stupid the LCB is, even though it's 500 velocity, the shot, the actual shot is 4 meters wide, like in a circle. I guess the radius is like 4 meters. And up close, it's very hard to dodge. If you're not on your toes, you'll get tagged and be close to stagger. Like, your stagger be half, then boop, boop, LRA, you're staggered, then I clean up. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. If you're not charging this thing, LCS might be better. But, dude, this thing's a monster. But let me show you the version that deals with the quads to some degree. And has still a good matchup against Zims. It's not as, like, unbeatable to Zims. Because, look, I have to sacrifice a lot to do this, right? But I still got a Coral Shield. I still can do my game plan. And, you know how to show you we can go, like, 390. I've seen him, like, go up to 400 sometimes as quads, right? But I could do this. Go almost 430. I go 428. So I'm faster than him. So I can keep up with them. And just spam my little lasers. Or if I get close, I could just, you know, do this. At 900 velocity, up close. Try dodging it. It's difficult. And then if the quad's dodging it, he's using his gen to do it. So he's gonna fall sooner. You're gonna catch him anyways. It's a very hard matchup. Unless you have a shield and a hammer. Or even with the hammer, it's still a hard matchup. Like for the quad. But if they have a shield, that's a different story. Like for some reason in ranked, they just didn't run it. Just run Rat Knight. Just run it. But on a quad. It's ridiculous. And you're faster. I think Rat Knight might have a little bit more stability like the traditional one, but slow, right? This is fast. So, yeah, that's what the meta is right now. That's your 3 categories. The fucking laser tank, Zim / Vivento lightweights, and ratting / kiting. That's your meta. But yeah, this tank right here loses to like beefier tanks that can equal damage because they have more AP than you and they have more stability, so you're just gonna lose unless you wrath them. If you get first hit on a heavy tank, you can wrath them for 2 minutes. That's what I had to do sometimes for my placements. Like I ran this in placements after I got to the end because you needed 80% win rate to do your S ranks or do your A placements to get S, which is something else I want to talk about later. All right. So, what do I think about ranked? What's wrong with it? I think my main gripe with ranked for duels, because there's ranked and, or there's like duels and teams. My main complaint in duels, it just feels like the 1K tournament where you just can lose in the garage. You know how I just explained? I can just kill any Zim player. I haven't lost a game. I don't know if I even lost a round to a Zim player on that tank. Why is that allowed? You just lost in the garage. Or, for example, if I bring that tank against a quad that's backpedals, I just auto lose. There's no way I should win. And that's just one in the garage. So can someone tell me how that's skill? Like, why is that such a hard counter? You know what I mean? Like, in this version of the tank, it makes most matchups even better, you know? Or not the Zimmerman one, but it makes the quad one better. Like, it's wild, you know? And Someone sent me a screenshot of an interesting player messaging people, or not messaging people, but in the ACD going, "Hey, could someone send me like a 80% win rate build?" It's like, why do you like? Why would that even be the game? If something's even better than 50, like 60%, there's a problem. But for this to be like a 9 or 10-0 matchup to 9-1 matchups against Zims most of the time, like, that's wild. You know what I mean? Like, why is that like competitive? But yeah, like, that's part of the reason why ranked is so screwed, because you could just lose in the garage. But there's a caveat to that. Even though you can just lose in the garage, it's so easy to rank up. To just get to your placements in A, you just need a 50% win rate. That's all you need, 50%, to get to your placements to be like a top 100 player. Right, then it escalates to 80%. We'll get to that too. What a joke, you know? Like, I forget when I was in DU how many points I got. It was like 800 a game, or not 800. It was like 400 a game, and you lose like 100. You need like a 25% win rate to climb. 25. Or maybe a little bit more, but you know why? And then 50 to get close to top 100, or to get to S. What a joke, dude. And then the Alt+F4ing thing, Smile, you know? Just, yeah, he gets Alt+F4 and not take a penalty. Or if he doesn't want to mess with someone, he gets Alt+F4 during the matchmaking, and there's no penalty, you know? You just mess with their trying to get a game. But those are my main gripes about the game. I'll make this video a little bit different. I'm going to talk about things that they could do to improve the game now. What do I want? The number one thing is improve netcode. I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe remove easy anti-cheat. Maybe that would do something. Do something else. I don't know. They're a multi-million-dollar company. They can figure it out. And another caveat would be have a region lockout for anything over 200 ping. If you have 200 ping to this server, you cannot play in it. That's my hard cutoff. Or 200, 250. I think 200 is like fair, but some people might argue with me. 250, whatever. That's the highest I can go, even though that's ridiculous. 200 is ridiculous, but I'll give it to you. And have an in-game ping check. Like, let me see like my ping to your ping in the game, you know? That's like my little netcode rant. I don't think this is controversial, but I think kicking should have a cooldown. I think the cooldown for kicking should be 10 seconds. But I know some of y'all might scream at me. I'll give you 5. I think 10, but if y'all can't do 10, 5 seconds. I think there should be like a cooldown, like an ability like in some other game, where you can't kick like constantly. It should be like on a cooldown. I think that's fair. I think stagger should be reworked or removed entirely. Other games had stagger. ACVD had stagger. And if anyone talks about ACVD in that 6th gen channel, don't listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Stagger works in a completely different way. All stagger did in ACVD is it gave you a 20% damage increase if you staggered someone. And let's say they're A-Bing at you, like overboosting. If you hit them with a stagger, like let's say a high-speed missile, they just get dinked out of the air, but then they can move again. There's no like, I'm going to stun you for 5 seconds. Or, I just stunned you, now let me do my twin blade and lock you in a cutscene for 8 seconds. There's none of that. You know what I mean? Well, there's one way to do it, but it's very, very, very gimmicky and not good. But technically you can. It's just not good. Anyways. Do that. What are you talking about? Please give range options. I've said this a million times, but like, where's the sniper rifles? Where's the rail guns? Why do kinetic rifles have such a short range? Give us some range options. Like, missiles are in. I think that would also fix a lot of issues right there if you just gave us some range options. Like, give us it. Give flares and CWIS. Like, I don't know how they would implement. Maybe add shoulders back into the game. I don't know. Maybe make a back unit for just, like, you know what? Do that. So you have to pick the option between if you want to reuse a shield or if you want to have, like, a way to block missiles. I think that'd be interesting. Or, I don't know. So people in the comments can give options, like how they can implement CWIS. I think just add shoulders back into the game. That'd be interesting. But I don't know. Your thoughts? Rework the maps. My first rant that I posted in the ACD mentioned something about like percent versus AP lead, which I think it should be AP lead. But the issue with AP lead is just how garbage the maps are. I used to like Upper Grid as a map, but let's say even with my AP lead example, you could just be like a max AP tank and sit on a gear. You can't do anything about it. Or I don't know, somehow do that same thing on a hover tank and sit underneath the map with just charge weapons and just cycle through the cooldowns and no one can touch you. You know? That's just one egregious example. But like a lot of maps just have places where you can camp with lead and there's nothing you can do about it if it was that example. And a lot of the maps are just not good. Even this ranked, like, this patch, the maps are not good. There's like one good map. It's like that new Dunes map. There might be another, but most of them are just hot garbage, like that new Waypoint map. Holy. Like, you know, the final boss map. Why would they add that? That's so bad. But rework some of the maps. Lower damage. What I mean by that is you could just insta-die in this game, and it's very common. People can argue, you can do that in other games. I mean, yeah, you can, but it wasn't as common as it is in this game. Like, as soon as you get staggered, you're probably close to death. You know? Maybe if they left stagger as it is, or I don't know, not even that, but just how quickly you can die. If they reduce damage output by 30 or 40%, I think that'll help out a lot with the game, especially like in threes. God, threes. Oh, I forgot about talk about threes in my rank talk. When I didn't talk about improve rank, I'll talk about it. I'd say remove hard lock. Some people might not agree, but there's a couple ways you could do it, or keep it in the game if you don't want to flat out remove it. Because like VD didn't have it, most old gen didn't have it, or none of old gen had it. Answer had it in 4, but those are like the black sheep of the group, you know. But they were fun games nonetheless. If you didn't want to remove it, I have a couple ideas about how to nerf it in some way. Introduce flash rockets again. If you don't know what flash rockets are, they'd like remove at like FC like your lock on, which sounds crazy, right? But it's only for a couple seconds, like 1 or 2 seconds. But you can't lock on people anymore. You know, maybe that could be an interesting gimmick. Or if you want to keep hardlock as it is and I had like flash rockets, remove the ability to hardlock while ABing. You would nerf kicks and not make it egregious to use hardlock. Just to 8 people, you know, and have free movement. Just atrocious, dude. There's some probably other ways to nerf hardlock or simply just remove it, but in my opinion, it just needs to go. Other people might need it as a handicap, so be it, but it needs to be nerfed in some way. Add turn speed back into the game. You might have heard people like, hardlock or heavies won't be viable, neither will tanks. Dude, some of the older titles, tanks and heavies were the meta. You know what I mean? They're difficult to use, but they were super strong. And VD, like Verdict Day 5th gen, and 5th gen, like normal like V 5th gen, they were very strong and very meta. Like they were very good, especially in team mat settings. And duels were also very strong. Like, I feel like turn speed would fix a lot of issues in the game as well. But then people can argue, what about PC? Like, how's that going to work? Mech Warrior and Gundam Operations have already had like turn speed. Mech Warrior for years, and it's a PC game. So basically, there's like a camera, right, and your crosshair follows it. You can lock it in place, but you can't like whip around, you know. It's interesting, and I think people should take a look at it when they talk about like why lock speed should be in the game and how you would do it for a PC port, you know, if you want to do like turn speed. I think it's about it for my improve the game section. How would I improve ranked? You know, let me talk about that 3 situation real quick. I guess before we get to that. God, 3s is a nightmare too. To be fair with 3s, I guess that's another thing I should have brought up. What's wrong, or what I think about rank, or what's wrong with ranked. It was so easy to climb in both, right? It took me almost a full day and a half, like almost like a full day to get to A in duels. It took me literal hours to do that for teams in A. It was so quick. It's such a joke. The win rate thing applies. It's even worse there. Like, you barely lose anything for losing in teams, but You gain so much points for doing nothing. You know? Like, what took me a full day and maybe plus some for duels took like 5 hours to get to A. Then in that A, to get to like the 4th pip to placements, maybe another 5 hours. That's just to get to placements to do S. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. And just the teammates you can get. That's another, like, that might not be a garage diff in teams. It's just a player diff. Because, like, how the matchmaking works. Anyways, let's talk about how to improve ranked. For DCs, this is the first thing. We're talking about disconnects. I would give, like, a 1 minute time to join back, right? If they don't join by the 1 minute, give them their penalty, which I want a penalty as well. If they do DC again after they join, the punishment happens. The game just ends, you give them a punishment, right? You'll take a double loss for the DC. Then you'll get a timeout penalty. 1 DC is 10 minutes, 2 is an hour, 3 is 24 hours, 4 is a week. If you do it 5 times, you're just put in different like disconnect server for 1 month with other DC players. That's what I would do. Add a team queue. I feel like, even though I don't like this patch, if they just added a team queue, I might have actually enjoyed it playing with my friends. You know what I mean? But add team queue. But people can argue, don't just balance the game. Go make friends. Talk to people. Look, you don't have to have a separate team queue for a group. Like, just go talk to people that you know or want to like queue with and learn the game and play it. Like we shouldn't have to handicap ourselves if we want to be in a group and go play the game. You know what I mean? Like there should be a section, like a separate queue. You should just be able to play with your friends and do teams. Like hell, I would have made another Smurf and play like a bunch of my friends and run dumb shit so you can get S. You know? And it would just be with my group. It wouldn't be impacting other players if we ran dumb shit. You know? Set a team queue. If they did add the team queue, the matches would be way more competitive. So if that was the case, I would change the timer to 5 minutes. The games would be longer, and like in a competitive setting, that's what you want. And it'd be longer to rank up as well, which wouldn't be such as a joke, you know? To legitimately get almost like up to like S in under like 10 hours or something. You know what I mean? For teams. For duels, how I would fix that is I even talked about people like another tournament if I ever entered one again, if they want to do a build log. If they want to do build, because that's what duels is. It's just a build logged tournament you're in and you just can never leave. Smile. But what I would do for that is I would give each player like what you would do before you join the match is you would preset 2 to 3 ACs you want to play, like use, right? And then when you queue, like match someone, each player sees each other's ACs. But you don't get to see what each other picks. What that would do is force build diversity, right? Because you have to know like how many people just play Zims or how many people just rat. They just focus on one game type. I can play you basically everything but Zims, right? That's like my handicap because I never wanted to learn it because I thought it was stupid. I still think it's stupid, but it would force build diversity. So if you could play like all 3, the other player could play all 3. It's like a mind game. Like, what is he gonna pick? And then the match starts, and then you get to see. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's healthy for the game. You know, it doesn't fix garage diff like the diff, like I explained earlier, but it'll give you a better chance and force like better like playstyle diversity. Rework the elo system. Like, why is it so easy to climb? Like, I'm not calling people bad or anything for how quickly I climbed, but like, you don't even need a 50% win rate to get like a 4th pip, right? Which leads on to placement matches. Why is there even placement matches? What they should do is just do it based on win rate. Maybe D rank, you need like a 30% win rate. You could just climb C 40, B 50, A to get to S, make it like 60%. Or something. I don't know. Maybe those numbers are extreme, but Just something. Like, you don't need placements. Just have like a flat gauge that goes up and down. Because once you get to like whatever rank, let's say you get to B rank, right? You can stay there permanently and have like a 1 in 32 win-loss, right? You can only win 1 and loss 32, and you're saying B permanently. You can D-pip, but you can't D-rank. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? That's basically all I have for like what I improve in ranked. Some other caveats. I want a stat breakdown screen. Like, I want to see how much damage I've taken, how much damage I've done, my weapon accuracy, like seeing like, did it even work? Like, should I even use this? And average time alive, maybe for like teams. Like, I think those would be all good stats to add in the game. Just some stat breakdown and see what you did, and then if you were in a team, see what your teammates did. So you can like work out something, you know? I also think give like an unranked queue. I feel like custom games are just gonna die to ranked. I don't know. Like, because you don't have to go find a game. You're just instantly put into one. So just give an unranked queue. Like, I think it does make sense. And then custom games can still exist. You can let you play with your friends, do something, you know. But I give it unranked queue. And here's an interesting topic I've heard people talk about all the time. Why TA is important for teams. If none of the changes were implemented, you need TA the way it is. Because you just insta-die without it. And teams would be unplayable without TA. Just flat out, no one would play it. It's hard to play like ranked as it is for teams, just for how random it is. But if you got rid of TA, it would be a dead category. Like, you need it. But if you, like, throughout this video, if the changes I talked about were implemented, yeah, TA could get changed. I don't know what they would do to it. Maybe make the duration instead of like 7 seconds, make it 5. Or maybe make the, I think TA has like a 20k. You know what? We can go check. We're in the game. How much is TA? 20,000 resilience. You're not breaking it. You're not breaking it, dude. Yeah, like if the changes were implemented the way I thought they should be, yeah, you can nerf TA in some way. But as it is, like how the game is, you need it for teams. You cannot change this. I feel like it's pretty lackluster for duels, but people use it, find some success, so be it. But I don't think it's that good for duels. But for teams, you need it. I think that's about it. I'm trying to think of anyone to talk about anything else. But I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, if you disagree with anything I say, talk about it in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Like, I want to hear your opinions. I want to have like an actual debate, or just see like, hey, maybe my way is wrong. Just tell me why you don't like the idea I talked about in whatever section of the video. Just tell me. Be clear. Cut. Just tell me. Instead of being like, yeah, what you're talking about, skill this, you know? Like, come on. Be an adult. Talk about the game. Yeah, that's about it. For anyone that can't watch the whole length, I appreciate you, you know. The reason I'm like so like aggressive about my dislike for the current state of the game, and this game in general, it's just I love AC, I love ArmoredCore games. Like, I grew up with them. And it just feels like this game did a huge disservice. It doesn't feel like an ArmoredCore game anymore. And that sucks after waiting 10 years for this, you know. But that's like why I'm so passionate about like why I dislike this game and why I hate it. Because I know it can be better. I just have a love for the franchise, and this isn't it. You know what I mean? But anyways, for anyone that stayed along, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a like, comment. Tell me what you think. I'll see you.